Gunshots, crime, sirens, abuse, threats, loneliness, poverty. These are just some of the many things that low-income communities struggle with. Imagine being a 10-year-old in this environment, coming home to no one because your single parent is working multiple jobs and your older siblings are out involving themselves in violent activities. Finding an escape or an outlet is a great coping mechanism to fight living in a stressful and harmful environment, but the resources to do so are scarce in these communities. Sports is a beneficial example of an outlet that these children can use, but the resources and time are just not there. These children need sports not only for the physical and mental needs, but for also keeping their minds off the poverty and crime they see right in their front yard. Structured sports built into public school programs can serve as a break or a time to release stress for children who go through such struggles. However, if you think how much you, an AJA student, spends for one sport per season at a private school, just imagine how exorbitant that cost gets at a public school with extremely limited resources and sports budget cuts. While sports alone benefit low-income communities, the cost of structured sports harm them. Children from more affluent families have more social mobility in sports. As Dr. Travis Dorst, the founding director of Utah State University Families and Sports Lab, says, if they don't have a good coach, if they experience a little adversity, if parents are able to step in, find them another team, sport, or coach. Less affluent families are oftentimes left with not too many options on the table. Therefore, it is essential that funding is provided for these kids to enhance the lives of them. In addition to keeping these children out of trouble, sports provide mental and physical benefits. As Amy Peachy, a CBS writer, says, research shows that physically active kids are less likely to be obese, more likely to get a college degree, less likely to suffer chronic illnesses including cancer, more likely to be physically active as adults, and twice as likely to have physically active children. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle is crucial for these children because adding health costs to their already minimal income is just not an option. Furthermore, Josh Skrupsas, the CEO of Books Open, says, when we are physically active, our body releases serotonin, which contributes to our feelings of well-being. Releasing serotonin is extremely important for low-income communities because it is tough to stay positive. Sports also tremendously contributes to social skills, which are essential to a child's life since they promote mutual respect and tolerance towards their coaches and teammates, which will eventually be added to their day-to-day life. On the surface level, sports entertain and keep kids happy. However, sports is far more than just that. Sports provide benefits that relate to a child's physical and mental health, social interactions, academics, role models, and much more. According to the Children's Defense Fund, 1 in 6 children live in poverty. That means 1 in 6 children don't have the benefits that sports provide. We need to help raise money for the YMCA that will ensure that these children will have access to facility and resources that they need to play. I will organize a basketball game where the alumni play current students. There will be an entry and playing fee while also selling refreshments. Not only will this help raise money, it will also help raise awareness. In doing so, we can provide transportation, nutrition, and most importantly, options for what, where, and when to play. To some, sports are just an increased heart rate, but to others, sports give them an opportunity to succeed and a way to break the cycle of poverty. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job. Do you think that offering more variety of sports would be better, or do you think it'd be worse because it costs more? Like a lot of inner cities and where it's a tight neighborhood, there's not much space. They can't go play lacrosse or soccer because they don't have the field space. But basketball, you can just get a hoop and play. Do you think the variety would help or hurt overall?
So I think I understand how it's more expensive, but if there's provided funding, it would be really beneficial to these communities because not everyone likes basketball or football where the equipment might be cheaper than lacrosse. But if there's more options, we can get more kids to play sports. Eli?
So if you had to decide where the money from a fundraiser your plan would go, what kind of schools would you want to target first?
I wouldn't like want to target schools, mostly just like programs like the YMCA, because usually for public schools where the low-income communities usually go to, like you usually have to be very good at a sport to make the team. Where YMCA, where it's a rec league, there's more options and you don't have to specifically be good at a sport, you can just want to play.
How do we increase funding for these schools and for sports teams?
So it's hard to, but like if we provide like what I'm gonna do, like games or whatever, we can really make a difference in these communities.
So, do you think it'd be a good idea, at least for our school, to implement some kind of physical activity into the day so that it would help the mental side of all the students?
Yeah, I think it's really crucial, like especially I love to play sports, so like even I'll be like, I won't even eat my lunch, I'll just play basketball the whole time. So if we have like a period that we can dedicate to sports, so I feel like people can eat their lunch and not just waste their time playing. So yeah, we can